In this modern world, whenever we have questions to be answered, we always rely on our phone, Google. So actually, we don't need to read, right? The answer is actually wrong. If you ever have this kind of thought in mind, just know that you'll be less successful as you do if you read. Everything you want in life. How to attract girls by increasing your social skills. How to make money. How to adopt the successful mindset that most successful person are having. All can be found within the book and actually implement it into real life to see the result that you always wanted. In the grand scheme of reading, there are only about 20% of people who actually read. So quickly, if you start reading now, you are instantly in the top 20% of people. And in those 20% of people, 90% of them are doing what I'm calling success masturbation, which I'm not gonna lie, I'm also a victim of it. These are the kind of person who read for 4 to 5 hours, sitting on their crusty computer chair, or laying down on their bed, holding up a PDF file book, or even a real paper book, and start reading it so long, but actually doesn't implement it into their real life. Which leave only 10% of people who actually acquire the true knowledge on how to read, to maximize the implement of knowledge into real life, to change their life completely around. I love the quote which saying that the one that is the most successful in life isn't the one that is the most smartest or acquire the most knowledge, but is the one that fully maximize the implement of knowledge into their field of work. So how to actually read, to get the most out of it, and to prevent yourself from forgetting it. The first step is to have a notebook like this, similar like this, beside you whenever you wanted to start reading. And once you finish reading the chapter, write down what you understand based on the paragraph, the sentence, or even the whole chapter. Don't copy it straight out of the book, instead based on your interpretation. And once you consistently write them down, have a weekly revise on what you have learned. So here's the notebook that I have every single time when I start reading, and here I bookmark it with a lot of sticky notes to know what I'm reading. And you can go through the index page of the book, see which chapter you're interested in. So for example, I'm interested in the How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie, in the chapter of which how smiling changed the flow of conversation to where it will be. And after I read the chapter, I write a few main key points on it and have a weekly revise on what I learned and implement it into my real life. Imagine you do it for 4 to 5 years, reading the same book, implement the same advice from the same book, and reread it to get a better understanding of it on the same book. It will truly change your life, and it blows my mind how amazing you can become once you implement this advice. There's a huge mistake that everyone is making in terms of reading that cause them to lose interest or even feel bored when reading. They start reading from page 1 all the way to the end. This method only works if you are reading the book that are step-by-step guide to doing something. Or else, start reading from whenever chapter you are interested in. You will actually be more focused and more concentrated to learn a certain topic that you are interested in rather than being forced to do so. So for example, I'm currently reading The Way of Superior Man by David Dida, and one of the chapters that I'm interested in is the woman's nature and the sexual attraction of polarity. So I can go through that topic, read a couple chapters that I'm interested in, instead of reading from page 1, which is the principle of a superior man, which I'm currently not interested in. If you are a person who consistently read, here's a piece of advice that I will give you. Be humble, stay humble. I saw way too many people thinking that they are some sort of god, or thinking that they are more superior than others just based on their reading. They thought that they are way smarter than other people. In fact, they are just a bunch of persons who waste time on reading but actually didn't implement any advice into their real life. So to conclude how to actually read, the first step is to actually get a notebook beside you whenever you start reading. The second is to read only the chapter that you are interested in at the moment. The third is to write them down, the key point that you have learned, without copying the whole sentences or the paragraph. The fourth, implement it into real life. And the fifth, have a weekly revise on what you have learned to get a deep understanding of it. Last is to re-implement the advice that you learned over and over again for the rest of your life. This is the only way to truly read a book effectively. And I'll be honest, without this method, I will not even start to have the habit of reading, to acquire practical knowledge, to implement into my real life. Click here to watch the video, and always remember, when pursuing big goals, don't worry about time, because time will pass anyways.